Okay, welcome everybody in the James English classroom. Let's start to teacher meeting. So let me check the teacher here. Monmi, Arif, Nelly, Fatima, and Rahma.
No,
So,
Rama is not a teacher here. I told you that at yesterday's board meeting.
yeah. So let me see the agenda item to chat it on the chat box. So I sent the agenda item on the chat box. So let's start to discuss about it. James, teacher to be a member in Discord. Teachers to be a member in Discord. Teacher want to know.
Thank you. But sorry,
Okay.
Never mind. I thought you were talking to me. You're reading out the agenda.
Yes, that's the agenda item for today. If you have another agenda item, you can add it. And if you don't have any agenda item, you can start to discuss about it. So let's start.
This is Arif. Today I have another agenda item. The agenda item is in Discord. I would like to create a channel. The channel name will be Teachers Meeting Information. And after finish the all agenda item, I will describe about this, how we will work that.
Let me summarizing you. You want to create the channel on the Discord, like the teacher meeting information.
Yeah, I will discuss about this later. Finish all the agenda item. After all the agenda item we collect, after that I will discuss about this topic.
Okay. Let's start.
I'd like to raise an agenda item. I don't know if it's there. It's Rama's status as a teacher. I'd like to start with that agenda item.
Okay, go ahead, teacher.
So I have a mind read, Rama, that you don't want to be a teacher in the group. Is that true? Rama, are you there? Okay, I don't know if Rama is here or not, but as head teacher, we have certain, oh, Rama is responding in text. So Rama, you're saying you have microphone issues. I have a mind read that you don't want to be a teacher in the group. Is that true? Well, not getting an answer in text either. So as I was saying, as head teacher, I make determinations about membership status, and my determination about Rama Oh, Rama is answering now. That question and decision was made by you in the last meeting. So she's not responding to my mind read check. So I don't know what's going on with Rama. Anyone else?
James, you had a mind read that Rahma doesn't want to be a teacher in the group. You checked it and didn't get an answer, a yes or no answer to that question. And in your role as head teacher, you'd like to make, or it's your job to make a decision on whether Rahma is a teacher in the group or not.
Whether anybody is a member
Yeah.
in the group in whatever role they're in.
Mm-hmm. You are trying to collect information and make a decision who's a member in this group or not in your role as head teacher.
Yeah, there are times when it's necessary to know what role somebody is taking on. For example, like the teacher meeting, we only allow teachers to talk. So there's work to be done, which is determining who is a teacher. And I do that work. And in my role doing that work, I have determined that Rama is not a teacher. Now Rama is interrupting and saying, role as head teacher, quote, if you can't be on Discord, then you aren't a teacher. So now Rama is trying to talk at the same time. I'm going to leave that up to you, Ahmed. I don't want to be reflected and working with Nelly while Rama is interrupting in chat and unable to answer my mind reads. Back to you, Ahmed.
Okay. Nelly, do you want to say anything or you are done?
Yes, I'd like to speak.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So this is the teachers meeting, and it's and last week and the week before, even where the whole conversation between the head teacher and Rahma started, it was always in the teachers meeting, and it never was in a space that really is for discussing, for teachers talking with the head teacher. That's not a space intended for that matter. James hasn't signed up to be here to talk with teachers. So my understanding is that we need a different space to talk, or teachers need to come to a different space to get information from the head teacher or talk with the head teacher. And this is not the space for it. The board meeting might be such a space. Board meeting on Friday afternoons, or after this 1 hour, there's a board meeting on teacher coordination. I don't know if there will be a possibility for teachers to speak there or just for board members, but yeah, that's or also on Discord in the channels, that might be a space where teachers could talk with the head teacher, to my understanding. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And
if you're done, you can say anyone else.
Yeah, and I really would like teachers to do that. Rahma or anyone else who has an issue with regarding their status as teacher, or their who wants to talk with the board or the head teacher, I want them to come to spaces that are designated for that, and where someone's available to talk with them. Anyone else?
Nellie, you'd like teachers to go to a different space to talk to the board, rather than not the teachers meeting, but a different space to talk to teachers, because I didn't come here to be a head teacher.
Yeah, today and also in the past 3 weeks, or since when this discussion has been ongoing. Yeah.
For the past 3 weeks in the teachers meeting, teachers have been coming here to talk to me.
Thank you.
I think the board of directors is finding it difficult to step back from the teachers meeting. I see that the presence of the board of directors in the teachers meeting is overwhelming, and that the presence of non-board member teachers in the teachers meeting is hard to detect. Anyone else?
James, you see that lots of board members have joined the teachers meeting and are active there, and not many non-board member teachers of the group are coming to this meeting and taking on roles like leading the meeting or talking during the meeting. And you don't like that. You'd like the board to step back.
I as a teacher would like to find a way here, being a teacher or to observe as the board. And like a students meeting without students, a teachers meeting without teachers is hard to observe or find a place in. And I was trying to do that by checking a mind read with Rama. But I don't think that this group knows what's going on. I don't think, Ahmed, you know what's going on. So you took my agenda items from last week and put them in the agenda today, Ahmed. Feels out of place to me. Feels a little bit like you're pushing me to talk about some things that are not really important to me right now. And so I'm kind of suspicious about the whole agenda. Ali's item, I'm wondering if that's not relevant because Ali is not here. It's difficult for me to navigate this meeting, like I said last week. Anyone else?
If anybody have the thought about this agenda, you can talk. If there isn't any thought, you can move another agenda item.
Okay.
I want to summarize, James. James, you say that this meeting you consider as a coordination between teachers and board of directors and a kind of cooperation or coordination between head teacher and the teachers. And you started by your question from Rahma by asking him, by asking her as she considers herself as a teacher in this group or not. And this question is asked in your head teacher role, not as a teacher like other teachers.
No, thank you. No. As a teacher, I am asked. I didn't. Not if she. It's important to me. I asked her if she wants to be a teacher in the group. My mind read. Excuse me. It's not if I'm asking her. I believe she does not want to be a teacher. As a fellow teacher here, I believe Rama does not want to be a teacher here.
Yes, and then in agenda item, you see it's not a meeting just for teachers, but it shows that even
Fatima.
Yes.
Could you reflect me? I believe something about Rama.
Yes. As a teacher, you checked your mind read with Rama, that you asked her your mind read, that you consider her is not a teacher in this group. This is a mind read, and you check your mind read as a teacher with her, right?
Fatima? No, Fatima. Thanks, but no.
Okay. I just don't know. Did you check with in your teacher role?
Fatima, I'm telling you, Fatima. Let me tell you. I don't think Rama wants to be here. You're muted now. Can't hear you, Fatima. So now Rama is answering my mind read. She's saying, I'm wrong. Can't hear you, Fatima. Your sound is off for some reason. Not muted, but can't hear you. Oh yeah. No, can't hear you.
Can't. We can't hear you, Fatima.
Well, Rama, I believe you, and I feel closer to you, Rama. Would it be helpful if I respond to you in the chat in all caps? I believe you. And I feel closer to you, Rama. Anyone else?
James, you checked a mind read with Rahma in your role as a teacher. You want to participate here in your teacher role, and you check the mind read. Your mind read was that Rahma doesn't want to be a teacher in this group. And you got an answer that it's wrong. And you believe that answer. You believe that Rahma actually does want to be a teacher in this group. And you feel closer to Rahma.
Yes, thank you, Nelly.
Well, that was my mind read, and my mind read is true. So also glad. I believe it as well that Rahma wants to be a teacher in the group. Also glad to have the confirmation. And it's I see a bridge to my agenda item
Go ahead.
of what self-commitments we as teachers in the group want to make. And one self-commitment I would like to make is that if there's some communication problem between any teacher and the head teacher, or maybe even any teachers, two teachers who have a problem with each other, I as a teacher try to listen to both sides, or maybe just the side that feels more close to my own understanding. And I don't stay silent in this conversation, but I join the conversation and try to bridge this gap in understanding through working with my fellow teachers to come to a better understanding. So that's a commitment I want to make as a teacher in the group. Anyone else?
This is Arif. Nelly, you are happy that Rahma, her desire is to be a teacher again, and you would like.
Yeah, actually, I had the same mind. I had the opposite mind read, and I believe her as well.
Okay. And you said that you will develop here to communicate better to the all teacher, so that we can understand each other better. You want to collect information from all the teachers, so that we can gather all the information, and it will be helpful for our work. Is that correct?
It's not just that I want that for myself, but I also want other teachers to commit to that. If someone's a teacher in this group, I want them to work together with the fellow teachers to understand if there's understanding problems in the group.
Yeah. Okay. Now I would like to talk about my agenda item. I see in this group there is a number of teachers, but in teachers
I'm not done
meeting,
with my agenda item.
okay.
I'm sorry, Arif. I'm not done with my agenda item.
Okay.
Waiting for some acknowledgement about that from Ahmed.
Okay.
Okay, James, if you want to talk about your agenda item, you can talk.
Okay, thank you. So I have another mind read that I'd like to check with, I'd like to summarize you, Nelly. So Nelly, you would like teachers to work together, and you have a proposal about, you feel that there's a link to your proposal that, how did you put it? Self-commitments. You'd like to know what teachers what teachers are agreeing to for themselves, what they would like to do to show up in their role as teachers. And you'd like teachers to work with other teachers, not just with the head teacher, if there are miscommunications or disagreements.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate that point. There are certain things that I want to do as a teacher, and I don't know if other teachers want to do the same thing. Sometimes I hear teachers say they want to do something, and then I see they don't do it, and I'm wondering what's going on. A good example was the 4 weeks exploration before leaving. Some teachers seem to be okay with that, and then suddenly we're not okay with that, and I found that to be didn't know how to make sense of that. So I think, yeah, it's just really important to me to really know what teachers want from the group. And again, like as a teacher, I want to know and be clear with the group what I'm doing and what I want to be doing, and to let people know about that as best as I can. And there are some issues that come to mind that to me feel to be more in my role as head teacher, that I'm going to put aside and not bring in here. Anyone else?
Anybody want to talk about some agenda item?
James, you want yourself to be clear about your own, the things you want to do as a teacher in the group, to know what you want to do for yourself. And once you know for yourself, you also want to let the group know about that.
Yeah, thank you. And there are some things that I'm putting aside.
You have more issues you'd like to talk about related to that, and that you see that as talking from your role as head teacher, and you don't want to use this space for bringing that information.
Yeah.
James has talked about the that some teachers have said they want to explore their departure from teaching for 4 weeks, and then first they thought they want to do that, and then suddenly they changed their opinion on that. And yeah, I would like, if I mean, it's natural to change the opinion about something. Otherwise we would be stuck and couldn't develop into something better. But if I want to, I also want to really communicate what's important to me as a teacher to the group so other teachers know. And if I change what I want to do, I want to do some exploration in the group about changing that. I want to talk about, I'm seeing that what I have said doesn't make sense to me anymore. And I want to talk about that before going to a new commitment or a new way of being in the group. Yeah. Anyone else?
Yes, Nelly, you think it's good, important to be able to change our minds. However, if you see that it would create problems if you just change your mind without exploring the changes you're making.
Yeah. And also, yeah, just name that now I have a different commitment. Now I'm in a different place and this is my new commitment before acting on that in this way.
When you change your mind, you see that it would be useful to say what your new decision is before doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. That's really helpful for me. It really helps clear things up for me. It reminds me. So in my role as teacher, I've done something like that recently, which is that I've decided as a teacher that I don't want people participating with their cameras off. And that's a change, because as a teacher, I've been welcoming people to come to my classes with their cameras off. And when I made that change, I mean, for me, it's a great example of changing my mind. I changed my mind. And then I didn't really acknowledge it. I didn't fully acknowledge to the class, I'm doing something different now. I recognize that it might come as a surprise. You might be unhappy because I'm changing something, like I've done it up to now in a different way and you liked it and you don't like what I'm going to do next, or you might not like what I'm going to do. But to acknowledge that I'm making a policy change, I didn't really fully do that. And I think that created more turbulence in my class because of failing to acknowledge it, that I was making a policy change. Anyone else?
So any thought about this agenda item?
James, you were making a decision in your role as teacher to no longer welcome people, learners without who participate without having their video camera on, and you realized that
I want to say it differently. It's not that I'm not welcoming them anymore, but yeah, I mean, the invitation for people with their cameras off is to just participate silently and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you made a decision to invite people who are off camera to participate as silent observers. Yeah. And before they were invited to participate like everyone else. And you realized that not talking or not exploring that decision change before you made it inside the group, and also not stating it somewhere in the group
It's
officially?
not about exploring it. I didn't want to explore it in my
Mm.
class. I just wanted to acknowledge that I was making a policy change rather than acting as if it was always the rule.
Mm.
Or not even acknowledging that I was changing something. And not
Mm.
acknowledging that people might be unhappy with the change that I'm making.
So you made a change, but you tried to slip it in to hide that you had made a change. And you were not acknowledging that there was a change and that people are unhappy with things changing.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to hide anything. It was actually it didn't occur to me.
Yeah, okay. So you didn't actively think to hide it from your learners, but it happened that you were not aware of making that policy change.
That's good enough. Yeah.
I've been thinking a lot about this policy which I had proposed, that I would, if I ever do a private class or a class outside of this group, that I would talk with the board first before doing it, if I want to invite members of this group. And I haven't I guess I'm I'm already kind of breaking that commitment by meeting with one other member of this group regularly. And I'm also really wondering if it makes sense to me. I've been thinking that in such a big group, what I appreciate about a big group is that I get feedback. It's not so easy to go off on a tangent on my own and not have someone who tells me that they see me do something atrocious. So that's what I appreciate about working with big groups, public big groups. And then there's the fact that to maintain my life, I need to work in other groups, non-public groups. I can't work with my family, have maybe private friendships that carry me over difficult times. And so I see I need to scale the amount of chaos that's coming into my personal life. And yeah, I see value in having more smaller groups to work with, to have this, to obtain this level of coherence that I need to function. So I'm not at my wisdom's end with this policy. And I'd like to hear from others what they think, really discuss this issue. Anyone else?
Yeah, Nelly, you're working with somebody in the group in private. And you haven't, you thought you wanted to talk to the board about doing that before doing it, but you haven't. Because for you, it helps you to manage chaos.
Yeah. At the cost, at the expense of going off on a tangent without the possibility of receiving feedback about what I'm doing.
You're going, when you work in private, you're able to work without getting feedback. At the cost.
At the cost.
You have
It's a cost.
The cost you pay is you don't get feedback about what you're doing.
Yeah.
I have been flirting with one of the attractive young students in the group in private. But I would much rather flirt in the group. Anyone else?
I think this will be easier for me to summarize. James, you have been flirting with someone in the group, student from in the group, young and attractive. Is that correct?
Yes, but I would rather do it in the group, I think.
And you would like to flirt with that young and attractive student in the group.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. As a teacher.
Hold on, Rama's curious now. Rama's getting active. Name of the person James has been flirting with. Wouldn't you like to know?
Name of the person James has been flirting with. Okay. As a teacher, my commitment is that within my capacity, I will be helping other teachers in their classes, sometimes by hosting, sometimes by co-hosting, because that I'm sure that I can do that at least for 1 hour or maybe sometimes 2 hours. And apart from them, then I want to explore, I don't know. But yes, whenever something is within my capability, I'm ready to help. And I also request other teachers to guide me, because sometimes I really become blank-minded. So to guide me, or at least, remind me, or just ask for if I can do or if I can help with them. And if I'm available, definitely I'm going to. And next is that I want to teach every Friday at 12 BTC. Anyone else?
When me, you remind me of Rahul.
Yes, Rahul.
Yes.
Who is Rahul?
That's my brother.
Yeah. No,
That's
your
that's my unromantic brother, James. You
Neha's
must,
brother.
What?
you must. That's my most unromantic brother, and you must help him. You must show him how to flirt.
You completely dropped James's share of flirting. Back to business. Neha, stay in bed. Don't talk. With Katie.
What?
You missed the role play class. James.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
Hmm. So when you want to support other teachers by hosting, you want to teach every Friday at 12 UTC, and you want some guidance from other teachers, feedback from them.
Yes.
Are you well? I'm wondering if Moonmi is committing to offer feedback as well, because we can't commit other people to give us feedback. Yeah, and yeah, I just noticed this dropping of the flirting issue.
Also, I have a mind read. I want to say with whom James is flirting.
No need.
If James has no problem,
Help, Ahmed.
There is no need.
Ahmed. This is
sure,
all you.
please.
If
So I'm wonder about what the agenda item you're talking about it, and you forget all
Can
the
I,
agenda item. So
no,
Moni,
can
if you want to talking about the agenda item, you can talk.
I already spoke.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
You won't let me check my mind read, right? Okay.
ooh, compliance. No flirting allowed.
Yeah. It's quite a taboo topic, I think. At a school, it's really off limits that teachers flirt with minors. Or start something with minors.
I'm not flirting with minors.
That's right. I'm sure. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, gonna get me in.
Still,
I'm already in enough trouble.
I mean, yeah, there's rumors that people who administrate big Facebook groups, they get all kinds of favors, or gurus get all kind of favors. So now we have a teacher who is flirting with.
I used to flirt my Western philosophy professor in my college days. And
Yeah.
and we get so close, and you know, he was doing so, I mean, it's a blessing that he had to help a lot in my teaching.
Yeah. When I was teaching in college, the students would flirt with me so hard. And I ran into one of them, like outside of my classroom, and tried to talk to her. She wouldn't even talk to me. But when I was in the classroom, oh, did she love to be flirtatious with me. That's it. It's a real teacher issue.
It doesn't happen to me. People
Huh?
just get upset with me. Hmm. But yeah, I think, yeah, I like that James said that he'd like to do the flirting inside the group rather than outside. I think that's
I
would
tried.
be-
I asked her 10 times to come in to the group. She wouldn't do it. And so then I broke down. But that's on me.
At this, 2 rejection.
Don't worry, many more than 2 rejections. We lost Yassine. Too taboo for Yassine.
He's here, just off camera.
James, if you done about your agenda item, you can move the Arif.
Oh, I'm not done.
Or not done.
I have a mind read, Arif, that you want to flirt with women in the group. Is that true?
It's your thinking.
It's not
Not
true.
It's your thinking, not my feeling.
I believe you.
I also believe you.
You believe me.
Another way, not this way.
What do you believe me about? We lost Arif.
I don't know what I believe you, but I believe you. Sometimes when you fun, that time I don't believe you.
Well, that doesn't help me understand what you believe and what you don't believe. Hard to connect to that. You said, I believe you sometimes, but if I think you're playing around, then I don't believe you. That's like saying, sometimes I believe you, sometimes I don't believe you. Well, that doesn't tell me anything. Yeah, I have a plan. Rama says, the suspense to know who is the actual flirt has arisen in my ancestors. It's a profound way of putting it. Well, you have a spy in Discord, right? So if I write about it in Discord, your spy can tell you who it is, Rama.
We already know that Aso has sent pictures to James.
Yes. And I was just about to mention the name. To check my mind read. Without mind read, we got the name.
Check your mind read.
Yes. So my mind read is that you have been flirting with Aso. Is that correct?
No.
She has been flirting with you.
I take that back. Yes.
Munmi, just check the message box.
Munmi,
What?
I can teach you. I can teach everyone how to flirt. if you want, I can give you a teaching on flirting.
Huh. I have a mind read, Yassine, that you are irritated that we are talking about flirting. Is that true?
I'm glad to be here with you. No, not at all, but it's not my way of. Anyway, I'm glad to be here with all of the teachers and with you, James.
I believe you.
Okay, we have 2 minutes left. In the fact, I forget to make the flirting as the agenda item to discuss about. Okay. So we have the 2 minutes left. If you want to say anything about the meeting today, you can see it before ending the meeting now.
I think Yassine is, Rama is checking a mind read with Yassine. Yes, Rama says Yassine is uncomfortable with the flirting talk. That's my mind read.
Yes, I'm glad to be here. But this kind of topic, I prefer to be just a silent observer. And it happens even here when my friends start talking similar topics. I prefer just to be a silent observer. And it's good to finish with maybe a news, even if it's late. I am not going to leave the group. And I will be happy to start teaching soon.
Yay! Yay!
Right.
Thank you. Yassine.
Party.
Rama says, yay, well done.
So we ending the meeting now. If there isn't anything you talk about it. And we moving about teacher coordination meeting.
Great.
That's the first meeting, I think, relevant with the
Yeah.
teacher coordination.
And you're chairing the teacher coordination meeting also, is that right, Amit?
Yes, yes, I am chairing.
Okay.
But I think I'm chairing, but I need to, I think that's first meeting relevant with the teacher coordination. I need to use speaking about the teacher coordination, talking about the process relevant
Sure.
with the teacher coordination,
Sure.
something
Sure.
like this.
Sure.
And making something like basically to follow it to teacher coordination's process, to avoiding all the mistake in the future, at the present or the future.
Well, I can't promise you that I'm going to avoid all my mistakes. So, I will just give a report back. Let me start with a report back from the teacher coordination war. I am Not doing anything. And actually kind of enjoying it. I'm really, yeah, I haven't done anything. I haven't even been reading the messages. I see in Discord that some of the channels are all lit up with messages. The teacher meeting agenda, the teacher payments, the teacher scheduling, the teacher training. I haven't read any of those messages. But I'm glad that we are meeting like this. I think it's perfectly okay. Maybe not perfectly okay, but in terms of a goal to go at a pace that is comfortable and manageable, I think it's okay if teachers are frustrated with the board of directors. Let me put that just a little differently. I am frustrated with the teachers. However, I don't want to you don't want to blame any of the teachers. I mean, I really appreciate all of the work that teachers have done. All of the teachers, I really appreciate all the work that the teachers have done and are still doing. So, I have been focusing on letting the board of directors come together a little bit, and I think that has been working. I think the board of directors is coming together a bit more, and some of the teacher coordination priorities are floating to the surface. So, for example, I think it's a higher priority that the board of directors works together as a team than to just have a lot of teachers teaching a lot of classes and have the board of directors be spread out and feel disconnected and not on the same page. So that's what I see happening. The board of directors coordination is getting stronger, and the amount of classes we're offering is lowering. And I'm okay with that change. I think it is. I don't think it will necessarily stay that way. I think that from us coordinating as teachers and like having meetings like this, that then the amount of classes that we offer can easily explode, get even much bigger than it was before, if we're working as a coordinated team. I don't know the exact counts, but I think that even just sticking with the old policy, that there's quite a few teachers who have now gotten to the place of being able to teach 2 classes a week. That really increases the number of classes we'd be offering. So like before, where we had, I don't know, 30 teachers teaching 1 class a week, maybe now we'll have 10 teachers teaching 2 classes a week soon, just about. That's a total of 20 a week. That's where my thinking is right now. I think that the number of teachers we're working with makes things very complicated, right? So if we're working with a lot of teachers, but they're teaching fewer classes, it makes it a bit, it creates more work for us because there's more people to be bringing on board and catching up to speed. Whereas if there are fewer teachers who are more serious and working regularly, then they've caught up to speed, and then we can develop with them without doing the same repetitive thing over and over again and feeling burnt out. That's how it feels to me. Like, I am glad, I just feel more comfortable working with the teachers who have been working with us and staying with us and know what we're doing. But even with those teachers, there's still some work to coordinate with, and I find that to be a little bit more manageable. And that's why I have scheduled a couple of classes when it's been easy, and people just said, "Here, this is when I want to do my class." I put it on the calendar, okay. But I haven't yet. You know, Nellie had a way of scheduling classes where she would say, "I'm only scheduling classes on Friday," for example. And I'm taking some inspiration from that. That's why I'm kind of giving myself I haven't done it exactly on schedule, but I've just given myself permission to just not read the teacher scheduling thing, because otherwise it feels like I don't know, it messes with my mind to always be looking at it. Anyone else?
I'd like to summarize you. You like focusing on the board work,
Connection.
connection
Yeah.
within board members, and creating a shared understanding, agreements within the board.
Yeah, creating the most basic fundamental foundation between board members to work together.
Building a fundament that just enables us to work with each other as board members before focusing on bringing in, creating more classes by various teachers. And you also see that working with teachers who are already familiar with the group, have taught their first 10 classes, and then might go to teach 2 classes per week. That's easier, takes off a little workload from teacher coordination.
Sorry, I got distracted by Rama's comment. What did you say?
To work with few people, teachers who have already taught multiple classes, is a bit less work to start us up until we find a good routine to do teacher coordination. That might be a good bridge to just work with those, or prioritize working with those teachers who already know how scheduling works and what information we need and stuff. And the last thing is, you're thinking about how you notice how much of a burden it is to all the time be present and reply and do stuff, how much chaos that brings into your life, and you think about just doing limiting that to certain time intervals where you work focused on the work those issues.
Totally. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah. I join on appreciating the frustration. I think we need the frustration. The system must create
Nelly?
frustration. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. There's one thing that you missed that I do want to get, which is that I really appreciate what the work that the teachers have done. I appreciate what they've done and what they still do. And I get frustrated about other things, but I don't want to put that on the teachers.
So you're grateful for the work that the teachers have contributed in the group, and you feel frustration, but you don't blame the teachers for being the part that needs to change to be different in order to remove that frustration. It stems from other sources, the frustration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So still, my thing is that I think some frustration is necessary, and I also don't see it the teachers being any source for this frustration. I'm completely yeah. I can understand if a teacher doesn't want to work as a board member or in the organization of the school. I don't expect them to do that. And at the same time, I don't expect myself to do everything or James to do everything. So there is this workload and there's this frustration. And in the beginning, I just took all the frustration away. I put in a lot of time and energy from myself, and I worked so long till the frustration went to a level that I found comfortable for myself. And it was running very smoothly and nice, but it cost a lot of time. And it was just my own thoughts and no input from other people, which made it not completely horrible, but not really good as well. I think it only gets really good if more people think about how to do something. One person can only go so far in thinking about something complex, solving a complex problem. And so and by removing the frustration, I think I cut off the other board members from having this experience of frustration. And so there was not such a good motivation for them to think about it or engage with the problem or what one could do. And now what I want to do is to devote all that time and energy that I have to talking with fellow board members about what we could do and how we could organize this before actually setting some time apart to do the work. And yeah, I also like what James asked us to do, to say what we are doing. So currently I'm trying to post the schedule and also the announcements. I'm trying to to talk to teachers who have some questions and tell them my understanding of how scheduling works currently and what would increase the probability for them to get a class of theirs on the schedule. Yeah. And I'm trying to summarize and be present in in board meetings. Anyone else?
Nelly, you like the idea of board members just simply saying what they're doing. And so you're saying you're posting the schedule and you're being present in the board meetings.
And I talk with teachers and tell them my understanding of what would help them to get a class on the schedule.
You talk to teachers and you tell them what you think would help them. How they might get a class on the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm not being fair to myself because I do things. I am every couple of days, I do look at the teacher's scheduling channel. And if people have proposed a time, then I confirm it and I add it to the calendar. And I think I've added a couple of classes as a result of that. Anyone else?
James, you're looking at the channels on Discord where teachers post that they'd like to teach a class. And if it matches it's 1 week, or you didn't say that, but if it makes sense to you what they write, you put it on the schedule.
If they have scheduled too early, like Richard has scheduled too early, I've said to him, I've asked him to schedule it later. So I've had some, I give some feedback about how they're scheduling it if they're scheduling it wrong. I tell them I'd like it to be adjacent to a class that's already scheduled. So I might post the link to the calendar, to the Google Calendar, or a picture of the calendar so they can see, look, what we're looking for in terms of schedule is 1 week in the future and adjacent to an event that's already scheduled. And that sometimes works.
So you're giving feedback to the teachers, and you help them figure out how to propose a time for their class that would fit with what the group expects from them.
Yeah. Thank you. And one more thing, which if I do get a confirmation, you froze, Nellie.
I can hear you a little bit, but yeah, breaking up.
Okay. My internet may be unstable. One more thing that I do is when a teacher confirms, or when I confirm a teacher, I go to the channel called Teacher Schedule Tentative, and I make a note of it so that I have a list of all the confirmations that I've made. If I ever want to go back and have easy access to the information of all the classes I've scheduled, I can go back to that channel. So I see that, for example, yesterday I confirmed Peter taking over for Fatima. On the 16th, I confirmed Moonmi's class. That is a new thing that I started doing, and I'd like to continue doing that, which is when I confirm a class in Teacher Schedule Tentative, in parentheses, I put the number, what number class that is for that teacher. So there I said, for example, it's Moonmi's 3rd class. I didn't do that for Peter, but I would like to go back and do that. So then it just is easier. People can look at that and say, oh, this is where people are at. And because teachers often ask, they're like, can I do 2 classes yet? How many have I done? And so if it's acknowledged there, I can just point them there and say, well, that's the number of the class that you taught.
So you're doing one more thing. You don't just tell the teacher, yes, you can teach, it's acknowledged, confirmed by me, but you also put for your own and for the teacher's information, you put it into a special channel called Teacher Scheduling Tentative on Discord. And you write there that you have accepted this class for the schedule, and also you try to note the number of classes that teacher has taught.
Yep.
And next to the confirmation.
Yeah.
So from my time as teacher coordinator, more active teacher coordinator, I see that we need not just record of the classes that have been planned, but also a record of whether a class has been taught or not. For the schedule, that's part of the scheduling work. I see as part of the scheduling work And I don't see anyone doing that, or maybe, yeah, James does it in some basic way. If he says Fatima didn't teach, but Peter taught, then yeah, that's a beginning. But I see, yeah, I'm, yeah, probably that can, it's sufficient to just note if ever a teacher cancels, we don't have to record that someone has taught. But yeah, it can get very mixed up, because if a teacher says, I want to schedule next Saturday, and then they don't teach in the teacher schedule tentative, there would be the number 9 of 4 classes, and then the teacher doesn't teach, then it wouldn't be 9. So the next time that teacher schedules, or maybe the next time has scheduled the whole month. So, and the next time you would have to decrease the numbers for each of those entries. It's a bit messy. Yeah. I'll say anyone else and see if anyone understood what I said.
Yeah, Nelly, you see the need to keep track not only of what we schedule, but also of what happens. And you see that we don't have a system that does that in a way that is clean, and we're making mistakes because if it sometimes happens that a teacher will cancel, and then so some of the information in teacher schedule tentative is incorrect.
Well, you could keep it current, but it would be a huge amount of work. You would have to go back and edit or whatever, or put in additional posts. And I don't see that happening to the extent I've done it before.
So the information is not being accurately recorded.
I think so. And I think the system is not working to just put it in this Discord, in this one Discord channel. It might work if with a second Discord channel. But yeah, over to you.
So this system that we have here is not working. Yeah, I mean, I can see what Nelly is saying. That the information here needs to be, there needs to be an additional step where this information would be put into the spreadsheet. And then we could keep track of it more accurately from the spreadsheet, I think. That this is kind of like a log of changes that happen. But each individual line is not necessarily correct. So for example, you know, it might say, well, let's just say that, yeah, we need an improved system that accurately records what is happening, whether classes are being taught or not, how many classes a teacher has taught. And how we can do that as a team doing teacher coordination so that we don't work at cross purposes and undo work that other teacher coordinators are doing. Anyone else?
James, you're saying that you'd like to have better system to record what's happening, and you'd like to have some agreement between the people who work in teacher coordination, such that all of the necessary work is done, and no two people are working on the same thing at the same time, and maybe breaking up what the other one's doing. Did I miss something?
That there's a job to be done, and that is taking the information from this channel and updating the spreadsheet.
You think that we need to take the information from teacher schedule tentative, the plans of what classes have been planned, and put it into a spreadsheet and update the spreadsheet with whether the class has been taught, what happened in reality.
That's right. And yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I see some I see two issues. I mean, taking the plans that were recorded on Discord in teacher schedule tentative and putting them into the spreadsheet, that's one step. And the benefit of doing that is to just have an overview, what's happening, and to quickly search, and it's very useful to have a spreadsheet. Can calculate how much finances we have as well. But yeah, so that's useful, and it's a job to be done. And then there's the other job, which I see separate, which is to record not just the plan, but also the reality of what has happened. And I think that could be done on Discord as well, or it could even be done by the teachers. I was thinking that if a teacher teaches a class, why not require the teacher to say, I have taught the class in some channel on Discord? Then I don't have to go to the live stream and watch, has this teacher taught a class or not? But I can see, oh, the teacher has taught the class, or something like that. So that was my idea for having a second Discord channel where there's a record of what has happened. Or maybe, and maybe the board will cross-check and say, yeah, that teacher actually has taught, or something like that. Or another idea was to have a time tracking. I mean, every company or many companies requires their workers to clock their work time. And then it would be visible, oh yeah, this teacher has been working there, and or they have not been working there at this time. So that's another idea for me, how to record what has actually happened. What doesn't work well is if one board member like me tries to, I mean, it's already, I'm familiarizing myself with posting the schedule every day. That's fine. I could also update what has happened each day, but I don't even get the information. If I could read it in some place on Discord, today all classes have been taught as scheduled, that would be okay for me. That would be enough for me. But if I have to go to the live stream or to hunt down which teachers canceled in some weird places, WhatsApp at once group, then that's not manageable for me to collect all that information. So central place to collect the information what has actually happened on a day would be great for by someone who has been attending those events, not me or not the one board member
Nelly,
who just
Nelly, that's why I write it in teacher schedule tentative. When I get information that a class is canceled, I write it in teacher schedule tentative. Now, maybe there's something that needs to be adjusted slightly, but about how I do that recording. But I don't want it to come from the teachers. I want to own, knowing what's going on in the school. And I generally do make it my business to keep track and see, well, if a class was taught or not. And so if it wasn't, then I write it in teacher schedule tentative. I think what might needs to be cleaned up is that there's two types of cancellations. There is we had it on the schedule and it just didn't happen, versus a teacher rescheduled. Which is not, some of that language needs to be just cleaned up about how I record it in teacher schedule tentative, so that when we go to the spreadsheet, what we're writing is correct. I don't know if I'm clear. I need to think about this just a little bit more. But it seems like the system of having it go into a log and then having it be recorded in the spreadsheet should be able to work. Are you saying that you'd like to do the spreadsheet, Nellie?
no.
Yeah.
What I could do is like posting I was posting the daily schedule, the classes of the day. I was composing that from
this is a more fundamental issue then. I think what the group is saying, not explicitly, the group is saying it doesn't want to keep track of what goes on in the group. As hard as that is to take in, we don't want to know what teachers are doing. Right? No, nobody is spontaneously saying, I want to keep track.
Well, I've heard both Fatima and Mumi say that they are interested to understand how to do that.
Yes, Nelly. I'm interested, but I don't know how to do it. I'm trying to, but yeah, I want to learn. And I was thinking the schedule you were typing on the schedule, posting on the schedule channel. I think that I can do, or posting.
No. Sorry, but the schedule, posting the schedule for the day is not what we're talking about.
Okay.
Let's not confuse those two things, please.
Okay. All right.
We're talking about keeping track for ourselves, for the board, of having information about what's happening. The schedule that Nelly's talking about is about giving that information to the group, making an announcement about that information. But before we make that announcement, there's a step that comes first, which is tracking what's going on so that we know what to announce. And we don't announce everything, right? We don't announce the cancellations because that is not what students are interested in. But we're interested in cancellations because we track what teachers can do if they've taught a certain amount of classes or if they can remain a teacher in the group. So it's different work.
Or if they are paid for a class.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be paid for a class they haven't taught if it was their fault for not turning up, not teaching.
So what we have here kind of is like a situation where, like, if somebody wants to drive a car, they can't say, well, I'm willing to press the gas, but I'm not willing to press the brake. It's like, you know what? If you're going to drive the car, pressing the gas and pressing the brake are both important. Otherwise, you don't want to drive the car. And we don't have someone who wants to drive the car right now. That's why.
Well, I heard Munmi say she wants to do it. She just needs someone to teach her.
Yes,
And
yes,
I'm willing
how
to teach. So just not willing to do it again myself, because nobody will ever learn how to do it if I do it.
So is that true, Munmi? Do you want to take ownership of updating the spreadsheet, and then Nelly can show you how to update the spreadsheet?
Yes, I'm thinking of, but thing is that I need to be confident on working that. And I'm not confident yet because I don't know.
No, that's not what I asked. See, this is a real important issue. You're telling me you don't know how to do it, but I'm not asking you if you don't know how to do it. I know you don't know how to do it. I'm asking you if you want to do it. See, it's the same issue that came up with Rama in the teacher meeting. I asked Rama if she wants to be a teacher, and her response was, well, you don't want me to be a teacher, or something like that, or you have a requirement for teachers. It's a different topic. It's true. I have requirements of teachers. But that is a totally different issue than whether Rama wants to be a teacher or not. Munmi, it's true that you don't know how to update the schedule. So that's why I said, Nelly, it's the spontaneous desire to do something is kind of what is necessary.
I think for the time being, I'm not ready.
See, and if you push that on Munmi, Nelly, you're kind of volunteering her. It doesn't work.
And that's why I said, until and unless I'm confident, I'm not giving commitment. And once
No,
I give
it doesn't work
commitment,
that
I
way.
don't know. So I'm not deciding.
I'm sorry, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. The confidence, you want to be confident, but that's not a requirement for doing this. You're setting requirements for a job that you're not interested in doing. That's the problem.
Or not yet? Am
Not
I
yet.
audible?
Yeah.
Not yet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that yet is important. It becomes a prediction. With the yet, it becomes a prediction. Let's just work from where we are rather than predicting that people will become interested in it.
Am I audible?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I can do that. I can record the changes and record the teachers' classes that happen every day. It could be every day or at the end of a month, but I can do that, I think, by creating a Google spreadsheet, maybe. Yes, I can work.
Yeah. Can I, I hear that you can. Do you want to? Do you want to be the person who updates the
I want.
spreadsheet? Yeah.
Yes, I want, but I'm not forever. Maybe 1 month I want to do that for 1 month first, and maybe later I want to do more, and maybe I want to stop that. But for 1 month, I'm ready to that for September,
Yeah.
October. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the monthly commitment is important. So if you want to do it, to commit it for at least a month, I think that's important. And I have one more suggestion around this, which is that sometimes because we have this kind of musical chairs thing where people work for a certain amount of time, I think it's good to start from zero. You know, like being the space master for Discord. I don't think it's a good idea for me to just give Discord to somebody. If somebody wants to be the space master for Discord for the group, I want them to create a Discord channel from zero. And I think that's a good policy for the spreadsheet as well. Like Nelly has created a spreadsheet that's rather complicated, and rather than dumping that on Munmi or Fatima, saying, now you create a spreadsheet. You can look at mine as a model, and I can explain to you my reasoning. And if you want to model your spreadsheet after mine, I can walk with you step by step to show you what I've done. But that way, the person doing the work has then created it from zero for themselves. They are much more likely to understand everything on the spreadsheet that they've created. Anyone
I can
else?
do that on my own way. Maybe not perfect like Nelly do before, colorful table or everything is perfect, but I can try it. I can start doing and share a screenshot to the Discord in scheduling, teacher scheduling, to see how it is, if you like it or not. I can write every day teaching classes in a separate page.
Yeah, I think that
Google Sheet.
the teacher coordinators will want to see it. You know, they'll look at it and be in communication with you and say, oh, could you add this, or we need this, or you're not doing this, right? And so it'll be a work in progress as you create it. You will see what might be necessary, and then the teacher coordinators will also see, you know, we need this information. You say that it won't be perfect like Nelly's, but based on how Nelly did it on her own. And now we're trying something new, which is we're all going to create the spreadsheet as like a team effort. It might be better than Nelly's spreadsheet in the end. You don't know what it's going to be like.
I already have some ideas to improve it. Yeah, and I hope Fatima has ideas as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my first time. I never worked with spreadsheets, but I can. Shouldn't be so difficult. I can do that.
Yeah, the benefit of doing this is to know how many classes a teacher has taught and how much money they have earned and all that. So it's useful.
I want to just tell a little story. I think maybe it might be interesting and it's relevant. You know, Japanese temples, there's a religion in Japan called Shinto. It's not Buddhism, it's the indigenous religion in Japan. And they have a main temple. They have a main temple in Japan. I lived near it. And they have a policy. Every 20 years, they tear down the main temple and they rebuild it. And that is, they built it the same way. It's not a new temple. The design is not new, but they do it because they want to keep alive the knowledge about creating the temple. So if the temple ever is destroyed, that knowledge, the workmen have the ability and skill to create the temple again. And when they tear down the temple, they take all of the wood and the pieces from the temple and they distribute it to the other temples throughout the country so that it's also not wasted, right? So every 20 years, all of the wood and beautiful craftsmanship that they have from the temple is not destroyed. It goes to creating these other temples. But then again, and now, you know, I mean, it anyway, I won't say more about that, but it's interesting. And so I think we have something similar, which is every time somebody quits and comes in and learns how to do it, you know, it's like we are refashioning our ability to do it, checking is it serving our purposes, and then we are understanding the more people that then create a spreadsheet for this purpose, the more people understand what each of us is doing. I think it's helpful for decentralizing the work. Good. I feel good about that plan.
So what's the first step should I have done? Recording the taught classes of September first, all the classes that happen in September. Is it fine to do that? Because I noticed that it didn't record it, cancel classes, but I have
a different proposal. I could finish September and you could start with doing October. So you have a bit time in advance to organize how it should look like before the classes start to happen. And I could just use my old spreadsheet and put in the missing classes that have happened in September. Does that sound good for you?
I'm not sure. Is it just updating the classes that already scheduled and I just need to update the information, or it's starting from the beginning and rescheduling and writing everything? I'm not sure.
Shall we look at the document? Shall we look at the spreadsheet that we already have right now and see what's there? The document's name is, which is it? Teacher Workflow, Nelly?
Yeah. Didn't have good names.
So there it is in chat. You can go to it. I'm going to share screen. So let's start, Nelly. What do you think we want to start with? Having a schedule of these classes, and you have a list of the teachers. So maybe that's necessary too, to have a list of the teachers.
Yeah. That's I would, for Fatime, I would want her to just start with the classes tab, and then the classes tab I would just try to keep it as minimal as possible. Just put the name of the teacher, the day, the time. That's the information you get when a teacher says, oh, I want to teach a class. Then you get the name of the teacher, the day and the time. That's very basic information, and it's good to have that basic information in the spreadsheet in a long list. And then you have to think about what happens if somebody cancels. The first idea I had was to just delete the line, but that's not very good. And yeah, So I have this column which says taught or cancelled by James Green's English classroom, or cancelled by teacher, or taught. Did I say taught already? Probably. Confirmed, which is.
Can I make a suggestion?
Mhm.
So it's obviously very complicated, and no, really, I'm looking. I know Nellie's saying that she wants it to be simple, but it's not simple. If you were to just look at this, it's not simple, and I don't want. So what we're actually trying to do is create a bridge from what Nellie has done to something more simple. And I just think it's important to not, to remember that, to start simply, and to start with what makes sense to you, Fatima, as someone who knows what we're doing, to say, this is the information that's useful to keep track of. And as you do that, and as you think, you're going to build something. And we don't know what that's going to be, but it's going to be based on your ability to look at this mess and say, oh, let's add this information. And then we can go back and forth and ask, and you can say, well, I think it's important to keep this information. And then maybe Nellie will try not to overwhelm you and say, well, you could do it this way or that way. But Nellie, if you come in with your whole story and say
Yes.
that with expecting Fatima to do that, I don't think it's going to work. I couldn't and wouldn't want to do it that way.
Sure. Right now, I think we are determining from which point in time Fatima will start recording events in her list.
October 1st. I think that's already determined.
Okay, great. I agree with that. I think that makes sense. And I'll update this list with the remaining of September.
So Fatima, that gives you a week to kind of create a plan for what information you're going to add starting from October 1st.
Should I add in this spreadsheet or a new one?
Create your own.
Oh.
And I think yesterday was the first day in 1 week. October is starting, so teachers have already started to try and schedule classes for October. So your work starts immediately, but James hasn't agreed to any of those classes yet, so it doesn't. But yeah.
Well, so that's something we can now work on together. We can look at the classes that people want to schedule starting from a week from today, and those are things you can begin adding to the spreadsheet. I will.
Yeah.
For example, okay, I'm looking at teacher scheduling, and we have a bunch of information. I have to take some time to read this.
I think we don't have anything for October 1st that isn't without a gap in the schedule, so it's probably nothing useful, but yeah.
Well, we have Fatima says she'd like to change her class schedule from Saturdays to Sundays, if possible.
Yes. Sunday or Tuesday.
Okay, well, you tell me now. Would that be possible? Now I'm asking you to coordinate your own teaching. You've looked at the schedule. Is it possible?
Oh my God, how? I don't understand anything from this.
I have one more thing.
Wait. Answer Fatima's question. She wants to know, how could she know if it's possible to change her schedule from Saturday to Sunday or Tuesday? How would she know that? Well, I'll tell you how I would know that. I look at the Google Calendar.
Yeah,
You need
and
to-
they
you-
all don't have access to the Google Calendar. That's the issue.
That is a
I
big
don't have-
issue. You don't have access.
Uh-huh.
I
Why
don't-
not? Because you don't have a Google account, a Gmail account?
I have, I think the setting that Nelly put it is just for, maybe not for anyone who just click on the link. It's a kind of setting.
No, Fatima, you also, nothing appeared, no, when you,
Yeah.
last time you said, no,
Yes, not-
if you were opening from mobile, then it will not, but when I open from laptop, then I could see.
I will try. Okay.
Well, that's and that's exactly how we're going to do this, step by step. And you're going to learn. Yeah. Why are you
Okay. That's why I told you just 1 month and let me see how it is.
James,
Perfect.
I'm also can help Fatima to making the scheduling of teacher. And
Well, right now, actually, that's not helpful. That's disruptive. It's like having two people drive a car. Fatima has offered to drive the car. If you start helping her drive the car, that's like, it's actually, I think, going to make it harder, not make it easier.
okay.
So on my
Th-
question,
there are
is,
some- yeah.
Should I install Discord on my laptop as well? Because I don't have Discord on my laptop.
You
It's on
can.
my
Well, I
phone.
mean, it's up to you. It depends how you want to work. I would find that easier personally.
You can open it in the browser, Discord. You don't even have to install an app, but you also can install
can,
an
Yeah.
app.
How can I get the link? I mean, like this Google that you shared in my laptop. You shared here in this chat.
Yeah. The
Should I copy this
Uh,
link and save somewhere? I don't know.
Well-
how, without installing Discord on my laptop, I mean.
Well,
Is
we're
it
not talking, the link that you're talking about is not Discord, that's Google Documents. So what are you talking about, link? And
I don't know how to click where. How can I get this link on my laptop? On Zoom meeting?
Oh, the link to the document is in Discord. So
Yes.
however you get,
So I should install Discord on my laptop there.
Or open it in the browser
Mhm.
with your login user.
I don't know. Okay, I will try it tomorrow. After tomorrow.
Fatima, I think you can forward it to your Gmail, and then from the mail you can open.
so there's some technical questions that have yet to be answered. And we're past time.
I will try to learn first by myself, and if I have question, I will ask in Discord, in technical channel. And it's
Like I
someone-
said, there's no rush. We're gonna do this it'll take as long as it takes. We're moving faster. It may seem slow, but we're moving faster than we were before. So great. Now, Jeff is scheduled to teach. I see Jeff is active in Discord, but he's not here. And so let's check in with Jeff. like I said, I don't wait for people. And so I'm not hearing back from Jeff. Jeff is not here. And so I'd like to post this 1 hour. We lost Ahmed.
Yes, it's not here.
So what do I want to do for this 1 hour? Oh, who did we just lose now? Don't know. They weren't important. Just kidding.
I'll come back in 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay.
I need to give them, I mean, my kids are waiting
Yeah.
for dinner.
Okay.
Bye. See.
Do you want to start with an activity?
Do I want to start with an activity? Do you want to ask me a leading question?
No. It's I would like to set an activity for the online teaching.
You would like to set an activity for my teaching? You would like to set an activity?
From me.
Hold on 1 second, Rosie. Hold on 1 second. Because what I'm doing is a little bit liminal. I don't know if you know that word, liminal. Liminal. I'm going to define liminal for all of our.
I don't know this word.
You don't know this word. That's okay.
Yeah.
You do know this word. Which, what?
I will check the dictionary.
I'm doing it. I'll do the check-in. You can check, of course, too. But yeah, I just didn't hear if you knew it or not. Liminal. Liminal means relating to a transitional process, an initial stage, occupying a position at a boundary. Liminal. And sometimes we talk about the liminal space. You know that time when you're going to sleep, you haven't yet fallen asleep, but you're not quite awake. That's a liminal space. And this is a liminal space. We just ended a meeting. We're going to something else is about to happen. It's a little bit on the border because it's not Jeff's class. I've just decided to teach. So now I'm separating this out. And I'm getting clear for myself. In a way, I'm centering as somebody who's spontaneously coming forward to host the space. So I'm separating Rosie. Rosie had some idea, but I haven't. I need to have my idea before I can take in Rosie's idea. So I'm giving myself time and space to create my own idea of what I'm doing here.
Sorry.
Can you tell me what I said? La, 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 la. Can you tell me what I said?
James, I have a lost internet connection. So
Yeah. Okay.
I
Okay. It's okay. Okay. There's anxiety at the boundaries usually. So
I can summarize.
This is
please.
Amira.
Or
Or Amira. Amira?
Okay.
Or one
James,
of you. Yeah.
James, you said about now at this moment you get with yourself to center to planning the 1 hour how to going, because this is our for James for Jeff, but Jeff I think not coming in exactly time. And when you take your time, Huang coming, and she did some disturbance with you, with connected with yourself, how to dealing about this hour. Am I right?
It's not disturbing. I want you to hear the word I introduced, which is liminal.
Liminal, yeah.
Liminal. It means navigating a boundary process or being at a boundary, the threshold space from one thing to the next.
Yeah, something like a space between the transition from period to period, something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm starting for myself before I give directions to anyone else. I'm starting by giving directions to myself, checking what am I doing at this boundary? I'm going from A to where? B. What is B? I know where I came from. It was very clear. Teacher coordination meeting. B, not so clear. Getting clear for myself before telling anybody else.
Yeah, and you just defined yourself. Where are you going from teacher coordination meeting to the next steps? Still not take your time and your space and your direction.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Amira.
You're welcome. Today I see I see my name is in Discord. Oh my God! Say James, you claim me about 1 hour for students.
Amira.
Yeah.
So I'm clear about what I'm doing. I'm teaching an open conversation class for 1 hour.
Okay.
And I think during my open conversation classes, I would like people to put their cameras on. So I would like you to put your camera on. I know you're trying, see, Amira is trying to sneak in through the liminal space. Take advantage of what is this space? Maybe James doesn't know, so I can come here with my camera off, even though Amira knows very well that I would like in my classes for people to have their cameras on. And if I don't get clear about that for myself, I can't ask Amira to be clear about that.
But the floor now for me, you take a floor from me, from my.
Yes.
You didn't mention about this.
Isn't that irritating when I would take your floor and you would like it to be yours? However, based on what I said, you don't have the floor.
Why? I summarized you.
Yeah, because summarizing is not the only thing necessary in my class. Having camera on is also necessary. It's kind of like a student comes into the classroom. Imagine this. Student comes into the classroom naked, and the teacher says, "Get out." And the student says, "But you said I needed to hand in my homework." Yes, it's true. I'd like you to hand in your homework, but also I'd like you to come to class with your clothing on. And if you don't come to class with your clothing on, I don't want you in my classroom. What did you say if the student says then, "Well, you're not letting me hand in my homework. I'm trying to hand in my homework and you're not letting me." Well, it's a game. Amira has decided not to have her camera on. Fine.
So, James, you said about your boundary for participating for this class for this 1 hour. Not only summarize it, what others speak, but you need to open our camera. If I go to my camera,
I'm gonna read what I wrote in the board of directors channel. It's a little bit messy because it's really what I want to say as a teacher. Students want things from me as a teacher. Now, this morning there was a student meeting. where I'm not a teacher, and the students could come in and do something. They could advocate for what they want. They could advocate for the classes that they want. They could talk to each other about the kind of school that they want, about whatever they want. They could come there without their cameras on. I saw at the student meeting Amira sitting there silently for 30 minutes. Okay, that's fine. So now Amira is coming to my class saying, I want you, James, to do class differently. She's not using those words. She's acting on it, right? We all know that Amira wants to participate in class with her camera off. But Amira knows that I don't want her to participate if her camera is off. I've been doing that for the last 4 days. I've said that to Amira for the last 4 days, and she's still coming with her camera off, participating with her camera off. So what's going on? Amira is a sweet person. I love Amira as a student. I've loved connecting with Amira over the last 6 months. No personal problem with Amira at all. But we're having something is happening here in my class where I'm saying, this is the class that I'm hosting. And Amira's coming in and saying, I don't care. I want you to be the teacher, but I don't care what you're teaching or saying. Can somebody tell me what I said?
Say that Amira come here as a student for some days, participating with camera off, and she doesn't care about what the teacher wants. She just wants to participate as she likes, the way she wants, and
I have nothing against Amira. Nothing personal against Amira. I love Amira as a student. And I always have the whole time that she's participated in the school. In my teacher role, I am clarifying boundaries for a class. And as a teacher, it becomes then necessary for me to set the boundary, be clear about the boundary, and prevent people from acting differently in my classroom. So if in my class as a teacher, I set that I want students to have their camera on, then it's my job to just mute them or remove them if they are going against that. Nothing personal. It's not like I have any ill will towards Amira, but in my job as a teacher, it's then necessary to mute Amira, either through removing her or muting her or talking over her, to create a classroom based on the boundaries that I've set.
yes, you set your boundaries, and this is one of your boundaries, that when the students who have camera on, they don't have anything against the student or against Amira. You love her and students, so this is only your boundary, and you want everyone to commit to this boundary and follow this boundary and instruction in your class as your teacher role.
And one more thing, which is, if students in the group find that to be a problem, if they can't put their cameras on because it's too hot, they don't put their cameras on for religious reasons, they don't put their cameras on for any reason, maybe they don't have money to pay for internet, they can bring all of that to the student meeting. And then as students can say to the group, to the board of directors, we want more teachers who offer classes like that serve us. We want money so that we can pay for and turn our cameras on. That's the place where students can bring whatever is important to them, but not to disrupt the classes. Just because they want something from a particular teacher, they can't then come and disrupt the classes just because they want something and it works for them.
If the student wants something, they should bring it in students meeting, talk together, and ask the board of director and express what they want. If they want money, if they want the teacher to teach in a certain ways, whatever they want, they can just talk about it and not interrupt the teacher's class.
Yeah. Now, normally I would say, come into my class and tell me what you want, but not if you're going against the standard of the class, right? If Amira came here with her camera on, then she could talk about wanting this class to be a class where she has her camera off. But if she comes here with her camera off, then no, she can't work here.
Yeah. You welcome a student to come here and follow the instruction with camera on and talk about that they don't want their camera on. But if they don't follow the instruction, you don't allow them to talk about what they want and interrupt the class.
That's right. Thank you. Exactly.
Back to the group.
I'd like to speak. I'd like to summarize first. James, you're not personally against Amira, but you want her to bring what's important to her within the boundaries of your class, or in a space like the students' meeting where this not your class guidelines apply.
Yeah, exactly.
Or yeah, okay. Yeah, I've been in a similar situation yesterday in the class when Liz from Indonesia was speaking, and Amira was trying to check a mind read, and I wanted to do the mind read check process as a teacher, and then Liz wanted to ask a question to Amira, and James also wanted to, I guess probably he got annoyed with Liz speaking, or me letting Liz speak for a while. So I like the clarity of this. I'm the teacher, and I have a certain idea about what's a good class, how I want to structure my class. And if somebody is coming in a way that doesn't work for me, I want to just stop that by speaking with with that person, and not letting them just talk, but taking an active role as teacher and explaining about why I'm making this choice, and guiding the person who interrupts to make a choice if they want to participate in my class or if they want to leave my class. I think that's really important for teachers to do. And it's not always easy to find out what I want as teacher, because with a student who is very familiar with my class, it's I want something different than with a student who is very new. Yeah. Anyone else?
Nelly, you're saying that it's hard sometimes for you as a teacher to know what you want. Mm-hmm. And especially when you have students who are new.
Yeah, if I have a student that's very new, they are bound to do things differently than what I expect from my class, how I organize my classroom usually. They don't know the way I'm working. And I don't want to just shut this down if somebody brings in their own understanding of what's happening.
It's inevitable that students who are new to your class won't know what you'd like from them, what your expectations are. And you
أنا
want
طفي
to
التلفزيون لأنه قاعد حية الحوش، نطفي التلفزيون.
Amira, you're off of mute. I'm gonna mute you, okay? Okay.
Sorry, I have to leave the meeting. So goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, you were saying that you want to be gentle in introducing your requirements to students.
It's in particular to new students, yeah.
To new students.
To not lose the energy they are bringing, the ideas they are bringing.
You want to find a way to bring in the energy that they're bringing. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone else?
This is Rosa from Mexico. Nelly, you said that you are take care that when you decide something, don't lose the interaction that you have with the people that is participating. Something like that. Correct?
No. I'm a teacher in this group. When I teach, I want to create the classroom that I like, but I also want to have some colors coming in that are different than what I would have planned or expected. From what people are bringing in, what my learners, students are bringing in, I want to welcome that as well.
Okay, you are a teacher and you have you know what you want to create in your class, so you try to get it.
Rosa, can I jump in for a second? Can I interrupt this for a moment? So Nelly, actually, I heard something a little different. Now you're saying that you want to welcome it. You want to welcome something from the new student. And I want to get clear with you about that. When you say you want to welcome the student, I think you want to welcome the student, but that you don't want to change what you're doing. Or am I wrong?
I want to, yeah, I want to welcome the student and their energy, but work with them in a way that makes sense to me for my classroom, that works for my classroom.
So you do want to welcome the student and interrupt something that they're doing that doesn't work for your classroom.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Would you get that, Rosa?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
You're the teacher and you have your ideas. What do you want in this class? So you don't change your mind, and I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So let me work with this. I'd like to work with this. I have an example that may make sense. So very often I have a new student who comes into my class and they say to me, give me the topic. Now, if I welcomed what they were doing, if I let them lead with what we're doing, then I would say, oh, they're a new student. They don't know that I don't give topics. Let me give a topic. That would be confusing to the student. So I don't do that. As soon as they come in, as soon as a new student comes in, I acknowledge that they have a different expectation of my class than I have. I don't give a topic. They expect me to give a topic. So I let them know immediately, welcome. In other classes, maybe you have teachers who give topics. Let me tell you right away that I don't do that. I'm welcoming you to my classroom. And the way that I teach is I ask students to bring in the topic. So I let them know immediately and unambiguously what I do in my classroom. So then they can make the decision if they want to be in my classroom or not. Rather than telling them, oh, you're new, you're deciding that the teacher decides the topic. That would be very confusing. If I did that, then of course they would expect a different kind of classroom than the one I'm offering. It's always going to come to that. So the sooner the better, let them know right away. My classroom is one where I don't choose the topic. I have students present the topic and we talk about the topic that the students raise. And then they know, oh, I like that. I want to participate, or no, I don't want to participate in a classroom where students have to choose the topic. That doesn't make sense for me. And then we can go our separate ways. Can someone tell me what I said?
This is
James,
Amira.
Criteria.
Amira.
Yeah, Amira, please, you can summarize first.
Criteria.
I want to participate it. Yeah, I want to participate it because the last 1 hour just for teacher and teacher coordination. So, Mommy, I think you take a chance for speaking and participate. You are okay?
You can speak.
Go ahead.
Okay. James, you said about what want the teacher, what want from student and from his class. And sometimes you meet with other student, new student, and coming to your class and ask you about what's the topic. And all of us know you didn't give any topic for student, just coming and speak. But you know, for a new student, that is a very maybe difficult for you to dealing about this situation because the student coming new, not knowing anything about our class, and you want to participate it as other student. Am I right? Or
No, it's not difficult. It's actually very simple. I make it easy for myself by interrupting that immediately. The student doesn't know what I do. And I make it easy for the student and for myself by immediately letting the new student know, this is how I run my class. Now you can decide if you want to participate.
Okay. that simple for you to decide and give the new members to how to dealing about your class, and the student decide if coming okay or waiting and just for listening. Am I right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I wanna talk now for you because your boundary and your rule about your class to open the camera and participated. If you don't like to open camera, that's okay as a listener. So I have a I'm wondering now, where is the student now? You prevent me to participate it because I'm not open my camera, and just only seen no student that's coming to say I'm okay to open your camera and something like this, and but now it's not present, you know, and just only I'm very disturbance because just only 7 now. You are six person here in this class, and you are 7 number. So I wonder to other student to participated by open camera.
Amira, it,
Mhm.
it sounds like you have a mind read that the people who are not here are here because they don't want to turn their camera on.
No, not
No?
mind read. No, I'm ask you about you prevent me to participate it with camera off because
Yeah.
you say I'm protect my student from disturbance and turbulence because the camera off, not the camera off maybe difficult to get understand each other, but in the same time no student open camera now coming in the class. You protect your student from who? From me as a student coming regularly and close camera and just only listening for you, and about half hour I'm just only in the street and let not return back to my home, just listening, and I see the class is quiet. I'm just only ask myself why I'm doing here, you know. And you said every time you said I'm protect other student from other student coming with camera off. Where is your student now?
Well, no, not exactly. That's not what I'm doing.
But yesterday you said that.
Well, it's true. It's part of it. Yeah, I'm protecting the whole class from some chaos.
Yeah, from chaos. So okay, I'm just coming now.
Amira.
Yeah.
So you're bringing in a few different things. I think it might be helpful if we look at one of them at a time.
Because I am angry with you.
I can see that. Can you make some space for being angry with me?
Yes. Anyone else?
Well, that wasn't a lot of space. Let's make a little bit more space than that. So making space for what do I mean by making space for being angry? You're doing a great job. You've come in as in your member role with your camera on, and you're talking directly to me, and you have some you're bringing in your anger directly to me. Great.
Yes.
So great. Yeah, it's a great beginning.
And not only you. Against Kawa. Where is Kawa now? Against me, just only sitting and smiling.
Well, so don't take it personally, Munmi. So it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be sorry either. You're bringing in your anger, and it's new. You're doing something new for the group. For the whole group, it's
Which
new.
new?
Huh?
Which new? Which
what?
new?
Watching me.
No, what is the new for me?
Oh, what is new?
Yeah.
What is new? Oh, really? You don't see?
Yeah, because I'm participated before that on open camera.
You're making well. You're what's new is that you're coming into a member role, a student role.
But before that, I do that. I open my camera when I came in my home and quiet environment. But nowadays, 1 month or 2 months, it's very difficult to me to open my camera. But I'm listening for other members and understand for all members, and it's just only recorded in my brain what all members said. I'm just sitting 2 hours to listening for you and for other teacher and teacher coordination. That's my sense for me to listening to understand.
Slow down. Slow down just a bit.
Okay. Just should be mute myself because adhan here.
Okay. With some, yeah. So again, when we do something new, we get it's natural to get anxious when we do something new, and we speed up because we try to control what's going on, try to control our anxiety or our feelings. We speed up. So let me know, Mira, when you're back and when you can unmute. Take your time. Again, there's really no rush for us. The whole group through Amira is learning how to make space for our anxiety and our anger, how to undo our anxiety and make space for being angry and come into the group in our member role with our feelings, with the fullness of our feelings, which will be a huge gift to the group. It's already a huge gift to the group, Amira.
This is Rosa from Mexico.
One more thing I just want to say really quick, Rosa. Who else, raise your hand if you can see that what Amira is doing is a huge gift to the group. Keep your hand up. Keep your hand up. I want you to see that, Amira. I don't know if you see what you're doing as being a huge gift for the group. Do you? You do?
Yes, I see, but still adhan here.
Okay, yeah. Again, take it slow. Go ahead, Rosa. Did you want to summarize me, or what were you about to say, Rosa?
Another moment. Thank you.
I'm sorry, what?
Later.
Later, that's fine. No rush. Would anybody like to summarize me or Amira? Take your time.
James, you said me coming as with the gift to doing something as a membership and the rule of membership, and you take a vote to raise it hand, our hand, if other members see Amira coming with the gift. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to say thank you for all members. Thank you for you, James, Lady. Whatever what my feeling now, but thank you. You helped me and with my family, my children. And yeah, I'm so sorry about that, Mommy, what I said. And yeah, I want to say thank you for all members, Maybe I have a great event with us guys. Yeah, anyone else?
Amrita, you were thanking everyone since everyone has thought that your true emotion bringing out here is a gift. And so you are thanking everyone for helping us with your emotions, right? Right, Amira?
Yes, yes.
Okay. That's what we wanted to. And this is why I have been writing in Discord. I tried to understand you. I know you thought I was also being rude with my words. But the same thing happens to me also sometimes, you know. Why I said that you don't have no feeling means in previous time, I also felt like you in different matters.
Talk to the whole group, Munmi.
Yeah, I'm talking to the whole group. So I had such experiences, and then I tried to understand Amira, and but that was no feeling was really disturbing me because I had been through this. So I wanted her to help and realize, and I have been reading also. Today morning also, I studied a lot on the emotions, emotional numbness. Then I thought that no, I should express it here in Discord also. At least, I mean, I don't know, but I was guessing that she must be reading it, and at least, I mean, I was just trying to help her. She should understand.
Munmi.
Yeah.
You are helping by helping yourself, because it's not your job to help Amira actually. And you could tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me if I'm wrong, but my impression is that you coming in with your feelings like being disturbed is actually what is most helpful.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to be clear for myself. I wanted to understand, and I just what I felt. I wrote in Discord, and I never mind, Amira, whatever you say. In fact, I liked it.
How do you feel? How do you feel towards Amira right now with her coming in, with her anger and her appreciation and everything?
I felt very happy that she expressed. Though you said, I mean, though you were showing your anger, she was showing her anger, but I really felt happy.
She wasn't acting on her anger. She was bringing it in and exploring her anger.
Yes.
So then the anger has a way in. Because actually, if we act on our anger, the anger can't come in. We can yell and scream and beat our head against the computer monitor. Our anger won't come in. But now you're learning through Amira and through you and through all of us working together on this, we're learning how to bring the anger in. So then it's accessible to us for work. And it feels pretty good, doesn't it? Like you said, you feel really happy. I want to check right again. who else feels happy that Amira found a way to bring her anger into the group? So you can look at each other and keep connected to each other. You're finding a way to connect to a range of feelings. You have access to your anger and you have access to your happiness. Back to you.
May I say something?
Go
I
ahead.
think the only person coming with yells with angry is you, James.
Oh, you think I'm the only person who is angry?
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
it might be true. I might have a superhuman anger ability that no one else in the world has.
No, not only you, but sometimes Neri, when you are angry, coming in the flushing face.
You think that it's only me and Nellie who get angry?
No, not say not only you, but different people coming with the different ways for angry. You
Mhm.
coming with yell and Neri coming with not only flushing face and smiling, but at that time she is angry.
You have a mind read of Nellie that when she's angry, her face turns red. I see Nellie's face is red right now. You could check it right now if she's angry right now.
No, Neri, I have a mind read for you. When you are angry, coming with a flushing face, red face. Am I right?
I don't see my face usually.
Yeah, it's tricky. Sometimes we see things. Sometimes we see things in people that they can't see in themselves. And especially, right? It's a little different on Zoom, but we might not be familiar with seeing our own face when we get angry. And other people might be much more familiar with how we look at different times than we're aware of for ourselves. A group, the benefit of a group like this is that we can tell each other these kinds of things. Like, did you know, James, that whenever you're angry, you tend to do this and that, or what, we might not be aware. We're often not tuned in to certain things about ourselves as much as other people are about us.
I think Nelly becomes red, too red, but without any smile. Definitely no smile, but she becomes red.
Mm-hmm. Do you want a group? Yeah. Do you want a group where you can tell each other the things that you notice about each other?
Yes. And James, yeah, from your face, everyone can make out that you are angry. And I am influenced by you. I have started saying so many rude words. I am not aware of this. And to my people surround me, that why are you saying, how did you learn this word? when I said this, did I say this? Yes, you have been saying all these words. Then I said, this is James.
Back to blaming me. Well, it's true. I mean, I do things. I have my own bad habits. I try to filter them out, but I don't filter all of them out. So that's what I would call passive or active compliance. Just because I do something, if you think then you're going to do it, and that it's going to work, you're going to create a trouble for yourself. I do what I can to try to filter it out. But if you say, James did it, so I can do it too. Well,
No,
tell me how that
I
works
never
for you.
I never think that, but I don't know. It spontaneously come. I don't know. I never even realized. I never realized.
Yeah.
So days when.
Yeah, there are going to be things that we, even as a group, we're not aware of. I'm not aware of.
No.
You're not aware of. There will be things like that. And we do our best to notice them and to work with them, but we won't catch everything. We're only the sum, you know, our system, it's a system. We have a system here that we work with. And if it comes into the system because somebody in the system notices it and brings it in, then we can work with it. If nobody notices it, then we can't work with it. You're noticing that you're copying some bad, rude words from me. And you also notice that it's a problem. So now we can work with that.
I'm noticing that Rosa has turned off her camera.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a reaction to that?
I'm annoyed that it seems so hard for someone who's not so familiar with the group to come in.
You have a mind read that it's hard for Rosa to come in.
Yeah.
And
Rosa.
You're annoyed. I'm going to actually interrupt that because her camera's off. I don't want you to check your mind read with her. But you're annoyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have a story about why you're annoyed, but the fact is you're annoyed.
Yeah. I was checking if my face goes red.
Well, it is red. Now your job would be to explore your annoyance as something separate from Rosa, as having, in a way, nothing to do with Rosa, but being all about you and what you want and your habits and all your things, everything that you bring to a relationship or to a group.
I tend to talk for a long time and say complicated things.
Okay, but what do you want from Rosa, or what do you want from members? Because that's not what you said you're annoyed about. You didn't say you're annoyed at Rosa for talking too long and bringing in complicated things. You're changing the subject. You don't see it. But what are you annoyed about in reaction to Rosa turning her camera off that you want from the group? And Rosa, if you're listening, you don't take it personally because this is about what Nellie wants.
I'd like everyone to come in to say something. If even just their name or something. Yeah, just a little bit.
You want to connect with Rosa.
Mm.
And it's hard to do that when somebody doesn't talk and is not on camera. It's just hard to connect with a person.
I want to join Nelly. My experience as a teacher, 3 classes I've given, and I truly feel very bad and angry when they don't turn on their camera. It's in the starting of the class, I always say, it's good if you turn on your camera, then at least I can be connected with you. I want to see everyone. But only 3 or 4% comes with camera turn on, and it really disruptive for my lesson when I'm explaining. I don't know whom I am explaining, and I can't see their faces. It's really frustration for me. And but the more frustration is that I can't tell them go. I don't want to remove them also. Then I struggle with my lesson and explanation, and that's really frustrating for me.
So what you're saying, Moonmi, is that you actually have like a disagreement inside of yourself. You haven't decided what is important to you and what you want in your class. You're, in a way, it's kind of like you're twisting your arm. I don't know if you know that expression, right? Twisting somebody's arm means like trying to force them to do something. You're trying to force a part of yourself to be okay, right? There's a part of you that is clearly not okay with students coming to your class. And then there's another part which is saying, I can't speak what I really want. So just shut up and put up with it. And that's all inside of you.
And because I don't get many participants for the time, and I'm hardly 12 or 15 learners, so I don't really want to remove them. At the same time, I really get frustrated.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to turn on camera.
If you knew what you wanted, if you were very clear about what you wanted, you might be okay with no learners. But if you don't know what you want, right? Because there's a part of you that wants learners to come and study with you.
Yes.
And you're not sure which is more important to you. And it's right, they're both important to you. You're trying to find some kind of balance. Remember the negotiation idea? Never split the difference. You're trying to find a compromise between wanting learners and wanting a classroom that makes sense to you. And that's where you're running into a conflict inside of yourself.
Definitely, I want learners. Or maybe in future, I may decide differently. I don't know. But at present, I want learners when I'm giving a lesson.
So, Munmi, the work would be just like we do in the classroom. You can do that work for the parts inside of you. Here, you could allow the part of you that wants learners. Excuse me, well, you could do that too. They're two different parts. So you could choose one of them and allow that to have space here. Because it sounds like you might have different feelings about, right? If you're getting learners and you want learners, you might feel good. That would be a different experience than wanting people to turn their camera on. They don't, you probably get frustrated, really upset. And if you try to explore both at the same time, it's like inside of you inviting two people to talk at the same time. Nobody's going to be able to talk inside of you. So same thing, it's the same principle here. Would you choose one?
Turning on camera.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I think since we have 6 participants and I'm very comfortable having conversation here, same with my class also. I think I can keep class with less participant and those who come with camera on.
Now, I see that I have lost track of time, so we've hit the end of the class. I just want to take 1 minute to wrap up. Let's do really quick lightning, surprises, learnings, and then we'll end.
So it's coming.
With her camera on, of course. Surprises, learnings, satisfactions, dissatisfactions, discoveries, next moves.
Satisfaction that Amira has spoken of. Learning that what is more important for me, camera or participants.
Amira?
Yes.
I thought you were about to speak. No?
Yes, but my children crying here beside me. So for me, today I'm satisfied because I come with my confidence and coming in front to you, James, and say I am angry with you and with other members, not coming here or participate and prevent me to participate because I'm close camera. So I'm satisfied because I put that in front of you, not in private message or something like this. I'm clear.
Very
Anyone
clear.
else?
Very clear. And I think it really made a difference. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll end there on that note and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Aso. Bye, Rosa.